See your hand up, no freebies, better pay up. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay up. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the Prada in store. I'm playing, I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse. Yeah, you just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you not gonna shoot. I'm watching you do the camp base where I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth. Yeah, they be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching pulls every stanza like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off. Yeah, it's a matter of time. I know you see me standing in the front, back of the line. I happen to grind every minute, passing the time. We ain't never been friends. How you acting like mine? Y'all need consentment. Y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions that make me question how you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to stew a blessing. You can't do it. You don't want a dream chase. You don't put your hands to it. You know the circle shrunk. 4th and 40 got a pun. No, I don't do what I want. I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing. I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the juggler, mate. The one to debate. But you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid. Yeah, I've been working on a gift. I ain't doing free shows. You can call me here again. You can call me what you want. It's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I ain't worth.
I ain't tryna see your hand up, no freebies, better pay up. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay up. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She at me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. But need cheap keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And who said it? Sam Cam. Shout out to Sam Cam, bro. You got me cracking up. He said, is hasta pasta a Spanish dish? That would actually make a decent amount of sense. So shout out to Sam Cam. But guys, Bitcoin sitting at the exact same price we were last night. As it wiggles sideways here, are we going to get the push to the upside or the downside? I'm going to break down the charts for you and go over my full trading plan and what I'm expecting next out of Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about the if this, then that statements. If we get the move up, what am I doing? If we get the move down, what am I doing? I'm going to break everything down for you guys so you're not lost here on this. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, guys. Bitcoin had me sleeping today. I'm just watching it, and I'm like, even in the Discord, I'm like sitting here watching the charts. I'm like, give me something to update. And it was just nothing. We're getting a little bit of a pullback now, though. So I want to break down the charts for you guys. We'll talk about the key levels, where I'm looking for bounces. And, yeah, we'll talk about the liquidity. We'll take a look at the heat maps. And we're going to break down everything for you guys so you can predict Bitcoin's next move, just like we do here on the live stream. So shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got Robo Balls in the chat. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. We got Dave Digital wishing Rob the Crypto Snob happy birthday. Shout out to Rob. He actually wished me a happy birthday, which is the first time that's happened in a whole year. I wish him a happy birthday almost every day. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. We got Tyler Durden. We got Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon, D Petty Crypto, Darren Does Things, Tony D technically. You guys know who the mods are. Show them some love in the chat. Let's see. We got Erica in the chat. What is going on? Let's see. Yo, Phoebe did a collab with my cat. They are on their 5th album. Shout out to Erica. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Phoebe did start her she did start her musical career. So shout out to Phoebe. No, Phoebe, not right now. Not right now. Shout out to This Is My Show, Phoebe. I'm just kidding. But anyway, yo, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. What is going on, bro? We got B Bags in the building, not in the chat. Shout out to B Bags. Welcome in, bro. Goldavelli in the chat. We got Jesse, our like police. If he asks you to kindly smash that like button, go ahead and tap that like button, guys. It's the easiest and most free way to help get this free content and education out to all the other crypto traders in the YouTubes. So shout out to all the traders out there. Let's see. We got JP in the chat, said, dump it, 12-hour sell signal. Shout out to JP. We actually have some bearish divergences forming on the medium to higher hourly time frames, guys. So I want to talk about that, the probabilities of going down first or going up first. But I'm kind of indifferent here. I am still not in a trade. I have not taken one trade this week, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I've taken one trade this week. I'm just waiting to come up to our next key level of resistance or down to our next key level of support. And I'm going to show you guys those exact levels that I'm watching. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and see if we can predict Bitcoin's next move. I think it's going to go sideways. Anyway, let's jump into it. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Satoshi Glockamoto said, I wouldn't even be trading if it wasn't for Frankie. Love you, brother. Shout out to Satoshi. Let's go, bro. Those are the chats that keep us going here on the YouTube channel, guys. I love hearing that, man. I love hearing that. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shorts, and longs. Yo, shorts, and longs. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. I always say I'm being conservative with the shorts and greedy with the longs, or greedy with the shorts and conservative with the longs. But I like the shorts and longs, or short longs and long shorts. But shout out to Chemistry, bro. Welcome in, bro. Good to see you in here. But guys, let's go ahead and break down the charts here as Bitcoin. I was actually doing this right as I was sitting here waiting to go live yesterday. Where is it? 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here, guys. Literally, price came right back down. It's almost like Bitcoin knows when we're going live, and it's like, let's go back down to where we were yesterday. But yeah, I'm going to break down the charts here and kind of show you. We do have some signals popping up on the medium hourly time frames, potentially calling for a pullback. But again, we do have key resistance above. We also have liquidity sitting above as well. We'll take a look at that as well. But the question is here, guys. Well, let's start off here on the higher time frames real quick. Obviously, old news, right? We got the big retracement up towards our golden pocket sitting around $97,000. We have not come quite up to that level just yet, but you guys all know that we have this plethora of resistance sitting right up here. I'll turn some of them on. We have the monthly naked point of control directly above us at $96,000. We have a daily level. I'm going to go ahead and hide some of the other ones just so I can kind of highlight the just so I can highlight the actual local level of resistance, because there is a huge pocket of resistance here. We have the daily. We also have a weekly up there. Let me get rid of all these. Bada boom. You can just start to see the confluence starting to line up, and you can kind of see how big of a wall of resistance we have here at the $96,000 to $98,000 zone. So I'll hide this. Go ahead and hide this. Bada boom. We'll hide these. Bing, bong. I'm going to leave this one here because this one is relevant. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think there's a weekly naked point of control up there, so that is good. And no monthly as well. Okay, so obviously, guys, we have all of this horizontal resistance. I'm going to take this tap daily naked point of control. Technically, this zone did start at about $95,700-ish. We have already come up and tapped that daily naked point of control. But as you guys can see right here, our next real clear level of resistance is sitting right here between about $96,000 and $96,608. We have a monthly naked point of control, a weekly level, a daily horizontal level, and then just above that, right, we all know that we have this macro golden pocket, right? And this was kind of the whole reason why, as we were wiggling around down here, putting in those macro bullish divergences, why we were anticipating a push up into this zone was just basically the fact that we had that golden pocket sitting here. If we're going to go for that full golden pocket retracement, that is going to be a big zone to look at. And here we are, right? We break above that trend line. Well, that was a garbage line right there. Break above the trend line, right? We get the market cipher B116 strategies. Money flow still coming into the green here on the daily, which is a very nice sign. But we have this big wall of resistance here, guys. Now, overall, like I would say, really the next large zone, this is a very big area of resistance. It really is sitting between about $98,350 and $96,000. Now, I am not going to wait, right? It's not necessarily needed that we have to come up and tap that daily. But I will say, obviously, huge wall of resistance here. And the question is, are we going to get a pullback, or are we going to push up deeper into this resistance? Now, I will say, more often than not, even if we do get a little bit of a cool off here, guys, I will say it's very common, right? If we front run a big naked point of control, like a monthly naked point of control, price does like to come up and tap that level. And I talked about this yesterday. We actually saw this happen when we came down to tap our weekly naked point of control, which was also confluent with some Fibonacci levels, which was the 786 Fibonacci retracement we had just above that, right? So the 786 was sitting like right about here, 75.9, and then we had the weekly naked sitting at about $75,000 even. We came down here, right? And we knew, I almost say this every day, so I'm going to say this very quickly, right? We had the daily bullish divergences, and we knew that was likely going to give us a bounce, but because money flow was in the red, and money flow indicates that longer-term trend, we knew that this was going to be a lackluster retracement, or we didn't know it was going to be a lackluster retracement, but the money flow being in the red makes us anticipate the higher probability that this would be a lackluster retracement for a lower high and a lower low, and it's also the idea of saying, well, hey, we have this weekly naked point of control all the way at this key level that we just kind of front ran, right? Like we just... Not very often that you just front run those levels. And what happens, right? We do get a bounce, and then we get the lower high, and what happens? We actually tap that level, and then we get the bigger move. But we did get a little push to the upside first, right? And it's not impossible that you could have just front run this level, but more often than not, you will come down and tap it. And the reason I even bring that up, Frankie, why are you talking about price action from so far away? And it's just because when you have a monthly naked point of control like this, again, is it possible to just front run this and get a bigger correction? Absolutely. But I will say, like, it's not, more often than not, you will come up and tap that level. We also basically front ran the golden pocket as well. We did not tap that golden pocket at all. Let me actually see something here. Let me turn on the, let me see something here on the fail. I'm going to turn this on to, where are we at? Yeah, I mean, I guess we did tap it here. When you base it on the log scale. So we did tap it, right? So we are in this resistance, whether you're looking at this on log or non-log. Monthly naked point of control sitting at 96K. This is our local resistance, right? And, even on Friday, right, on our live stream, I was looking at that 8 hour saying, you know what, guys? I took the short from the top here, and we did wind up getting a ride down. But as that VWAP was coming up here on Friday, I did look at that as a potential sign to get another push to the upside into that key level of resistance and actually tap some of those key levels, such as the monthly naked point of control, the weekly, and the daily, and get that one last push up for finally another bigger correction to the downside. I'm going to talk about that, guys. I have this daily naked point of control on the chart here at about 91,350. This is a significant level I will be looking at, but this is pretty much what I'm, same plan as yesterday, right? Like, it's so hard to kind of find new things to talk about, but we do have some new developments here on the medium hourly time frames, such as the 10-hour bearish divergence, which is now printing. Again, I do think there is still a possibility of coming up deeper into this resistance level, but, it's also not impossible to cool off here because, that 10-hour green dot was something I was looking at. If we were going to push up into that level, you guys know we were looking at this, even on a 12-hour, we are looking to potentially print that green dot as well. We were looking at this as like, hey, this looks like we could print a bearish divergence, which would call for another high on price, right? Which would push us right into that key level of resistance. And then we would get that nice bearish divergence. And then maybe then we get the bigger correction to the downside. But price is just wiggling sideways here, guys. We tried to print the 10-hour green dot. We didn't really get much higher, and now we're printing a 10-hour bearish divergence. So just from a binary perspective, 8-hour bear div is also looking to print here. It's not quite there just yet, but you can see the VWAP coming down here very nicely. That red dot is probably going to print somewhat soon. So at the end of the day, and we also do have a 4-hour continued bearish... It's not quite a bearish divergence, to be quite honest with you, unless you're just looking at it like this on the 4-hour, right? Just like generally price is coming up with your lower highs on momentum waves. So yeah, you do have some signs that we could continue down, so it's not possible to correct from here. And like I said, I was short from the top here. On my birthday weekend, I decided to move my stop loss to break even because I didn't want to have to watch the phone. I didn't want to have to keep checking the trade on my birthday. And it just came up on yesterday and stopped me out at break even, of course, early in the morning. So I am just not short from the top anymore. If I did not get stopped out of that position at break even, I probably would still be I would still be holding that, waiting for a bigger move up to stop me out or waiting for it to play out. So usually I am in a pretty nice position here, just like holding that short. If it plays out down, we get paid out. If it comes up, we stop out. But at the end of the day, we have the 8-hour bear div looking to print here, so I would watch that. 12-hour bearish divergence may look to form, but we need that green dot and a higher high first. So the two kind of scenarios I'm looking at is if we get the move up first, guys, very clear resistance above. And again, this is a huge zone of resistance sitting between $98,350 and $96,000. But I am separating this into two separate levels. I'm going to look at this cluster between about 96 and... between 96 and 96.6 up to the daily horizontal level. I'm looking at this as like one level of resistance, right? And then you also have the golden pocket is sitting down there as well, right in the middle. And then if we break above that, I'm going to be looking at this as our next kind of little zone, right? Top of the golden pocket up into that daily at 98.3. So again, it is a giant level of resistance. We don't know if we do push up, are we gonna put a bear div in here and correct? Are we just gonna smash through, put a bear div in here and correct? Are we just gonna rip through and go take that $100,000 liquidity we have sitting above 99,500? There's a few different scenarios that can play out. But for me personally, as I am not holding a position right now, I will be waiting. If we get the move up, I will be looking for new shorts here. If we get the move down, I want to talk about the key levels I will be looking at for bounces, which we did cover yesterday, but I just want to go over those one more time because we do have some confluence on some very key levels. But at the end of the day, guys, Daily money flow, my general sentiment does remain the same. Daily money flow is still in the green here, right? This is what we want to see for at least a continuation of the trend, right? So even if we do pull back, we have some key levels that we looked at yesterday. Remember, we do not want to really lose $88,000. I wouldn't say this is a line in the sand that if lost, we are definitely going to make a new low because, you know, we have been talking about this for quite some time. Looking at the August 5th correction here, we got the big drop to the downside, bullish divergences form, and then we do go for that full golden pocket 786 retracement. So we don't know if it's going to play out something like that. This is definitely possible, right? You know, anyone who was looking at this like, oh my God, we're going to zero, right? They would have been basically selling the bottom before the next big leg up in the bull market. So, you know, if we break 88K, I'm not saying this is going to be like the end-all, be-all level. Like, we're definitely going, you know, to make new lows here, but I will say I would really prefer to hold the first level that I'm going to show you in a second, as well as, you know, hopefully $88,000, right? But yeah, right now I am waiting for the move up for a new short. If not, let's talk about where the longs are. But just to kind of give you guys an update on my general sentiment, remains exactly the same as yesterday. We did nothing today. We just went sideways. And yeah, money flow crossover into the green is good, at least for the daily trend to continue to the upside. And then let's not forget, guys, taking a look at our liquidation heat map. Let me pull up the 3-month real quick. We all know that we have that gigantic chunk of liquidity sitting above $98,500, right? Right here. I'm sorry, it really does start around 99,500 is where that chunk of liquidity starts. That does sit just above this wick right here, right? So it's basically... This is why there are so many reasons why this is such an important level of resistance, guys. Macro golden pocket is a high probability area, right? Like, if we get a rejection here, like, oh, man. And that it does kind of play into why I don't want to break $88,000, right? We don't want to really break these highs because this is an area where we could put in a macro lower high. And if we're looking for macro lower highs, guys, it could indicate that a lower low is going to come in, which... At the end of the day, we could totally dip into these highs and still see a new all-time high come in. But I really would hope, and I'm going to show you guys in the context of the volume profiles exactly like how I'm looking at this from a much simpler standpoint. But like, just let me hide some of these horizontal levels because I don't want to overcomplicate things. Let's get rid of the purple box, and we'll keep the fib retracement, right? If we're looking for lower highs and lower lows, we're going to be looking at the golden pocket 786 for that to potentially be the case, right? Like, this is the first high probability area to put in a macro lower high and then put in a lower low. It doesn't mean you have to put in a lower low, right? Because if the money flow stays in the green here, we would hope that we're going to put in a higher high. And again, I'll show you those levels in just a second. But let's say we do come down to 88,000. Right, we would hope that that money flow being crossed over into the green is going to indicate that the trend is going to continue to the upside, right? Doesn't mean that you can't correct, but we're going to be looking at pullbacks as lackluster pullbacks for higher lows and continuations to the upside to break that structure, right, to the upside, meaning just crack these highs. So that is the hope here with the money flow being in the green. So this is going to be a big thing to watch, guys. You really, really, really want to make sure that we keep this money flow in the green on the daily. To hopefully continue that move to the upside. If we start breaking $88,000, and again, I'll bring up the volume profiles in a second, but if we lose $88,000, at this point, we are going to be cracking into our, where's it at? Previous lower range, right? We will be breaking below our value area high of our previous lower range at about 88,600. And, you know, could we bounce there? Absolutely, right? I would hope that if we don't hold the local level I'm going to show you in a second, if we don't hold the level up here, I really want to hold this, right? Because we don't want to break back down into this range. If we break down into that range and get stuck under the volume profile or stuck below the value area high, we all know, get stuck under the value area high, the next likely place for price to go is going to be that POC. That POC is going to act as a magnet, just sucking price down to that POC. And then, you know, at that point, right, if we get that move down, I think there is a significant risk that that daily money flow is going to be back in the red, which makes it very difficult to anticipate a big bounce out of there. Now, again, I will show you, we do have confluence here with our golden pocket just underneath that POC, right? So if we see what we're going to see, if we're going to see what we saw in August, where you come down to that full golden pocket retracement, you could argue that, like, well, hey, even if we do come down there, right, you could potentially come down, golden pocket 786, get back to the value area high, and then that could technically be the higher low that we need. But it just gets really sticky because at that point, I would have to assume that our daily money flow is probably crossing back over into the red, and you just can't be as confident of like, hey, money flow's in the green, we're probably going to make the higher low. So it does just get a little bit sticky down there. But at the end of the day, the golden pocket is sitting there. But I would really rather hope, or rather hold, rather. I would rather. Anyway, From this, I'm going to pull this fib. Let me pull up a lower time frame. Take a look at the 4-hour. Pull it from this higher low all the way to the high, right? So you have the golden pocket sitting here right on the POC, 786 sitting close to the value area low. So, I would say $84,000 to $83,000 is another area of interest for me. And if we look here, let me pull up a 1 week time frame real quick. We do have all that liquidity sitting down there. We look at it almost every single day as we've been going sideways for so long. Let me actually pull up the 2 week. Come on, CoinGlass. Come on. There we go. Okay. So, where's it at? $83,000, right? So we do have a significant amount of liquidity sitting down there. These little clusters down here, but really the significant area starts at about $84,000, right? So it's like pretty much, right in this area. We had a lot. We stuck on this level on this POC for about a week, right? Just a week of sideways price action. Hopefully this doesn't wind up being the same thing. But all that liquidity does sit like all down on these lows. So really what I would like to do, right? Hopefully $88,000 holds. This would also be if we pull our from the swing, from the impulse to the high, golden pocket retracement. This would be really nice to hold. This is like, I don't want to say it's the last line. It's really hard, right? Because it's not the last line of defense at the end of the day, right? Technically, the last line of defense would be the 786. But I would just prefer, it's just a sticky situation, right? Because if we pull from the high to the low or from the low to the high, technically that 786 is the line in the sand, right? You lose that, you're probably going to make new lows, and you're already really close to the low anyway. But it's kind of similar to when we came down to our macro 786 right here, right? If I pull from this low to the high, right? This is where we were looking for the low to potentially come in. And once we lose this, it's like, I really didn't want to interact with this level, right? Because once we came down here, it's like, oh God, it's such a hard decision to make, right? Because if you lose this, you're probably going down to $72,000 to $70,000, right? But that is the last line of defense. And in the same way, right, this 786 sitting at about 78.9 is going to be the line of defense that, in my opinion, would be holding us back, right? If we lose that 786, I'm thinking $72,000 to $70,000 is probably coming in next, where we have our macro golden pocket as well as the previous highs from up here, right? Between 72 and 70K. I could pull those levels up really quickly because I have them in the folder here, right? Golden pocket sits at 72,280 all the way down to the value area high, bottom of the golden pocket at about 69K, right? So we lose that 786. This is probably the next level that we're going to be looking at. That's why I don't want to come down here, right? I would much rather see nice bullish signs with money flow still in the green on the daily right here, right? Golden pocket, value area high. I don't really think, we don't really have much other confluence other than that value area high golden pocket, right? We have no daily level, no weekly level, no monthly levels, just the golden pocket and the value area high. So, and again, hopefully we don't have to come down here, right? This is still going to be a little bit sketchy, right? Because at the end of the day, hopefully you bounce here, but if you don't, you're probably coming much deeper into that range. And that would just be generally more bearish, right? You lose the value area high, you can anticipate a continuation of your journey to the POC and the value area low. So that would be kind of like level number 2 that I would watch. But really what I would want to see here, guys, because we have a bit more confluence, we at least have a naked point of control at this next zone. I'm going to pull up our current range here. Obviously, we talked about this yesterday. I have extended this all the way to the right. I am looking at both ranges. We have the full volume profile pulled to our current price action, as well as our previous volume profile pulled to right here at about March 5th, right? So we have these two ranges. They are slightly different, right? But because we have come back into our area of balance, I've decided to pull our range all the way to the right. A lot of people ask me, Frankie, why don't you look at the current volume profile pulled to your current price action? Well, it is just because I like to mark out the areas of balance. And when you imbalance out of that range, I don't want to incorporate this price action when I'm looking for the area of balance. But once we come back in, that's where you can then extend that, or that's where I extend my profile all the way to the right, right? So that's what I've done. So I'm going to hide the previous range. I'm going to look at the current range. Actually, no. Let's look at the previous range real quick. So this is the first level I want to see. Previous value area low sitting at $91,000. This is the value area low that we've been looking at forever, saying, hey, that's the doorway to higher prices. This is why, with our money flow in the green on the daily, I actually feel pretty good about price as long as we could stay inside these ranges. Because once you get above the value area low, next likely place for price to go is to begin its journey to the POC of the range, right? Which is also confluent with the golden pocket, which is also confluent with the monthly naked point of control, and all those other horizontal levels that I just showed you. But if we pull up our daily naked point of control, if we get a pullback here, guys, this is our first major level of support that we want to hold. Daily naked point of control, value area low of the previous volume profile from back here, right? This is, right, because our idea here is, well, hey, if we get into this range, we want to hold this value, as long as we hold this value area low as support, we can look up towards the POC, and then eventually, once we break above the POC, we can look for the bigger move up towards that value area high, right? I think if you've been watching this, let me know. Drop a not everybody's a member. If you have a Frankie Candles membership, drop a volume profile in the chat, a volume profile emoji that is, in the chat if you know what I'm talking about here. Let's see. And if not, drop a... Oh, BTC getting a little bit of a drop here. There we go. There's the VPs. Yeah, I don't know. Drop a VP in the chat if you know if you know how the volume profiles work. If I taught you anything about volume profiles, drop a VP in the chat. But again, right, if we get the drop down first, daily naked point of control, value area low. This is the first major key level of support because as long as we could stay above here, we could continue our journey into the POC. And then once we break, obviously we have a ton of resistance up here, but once we break above this, start cracking 99K, we could potentially see a crack through all that liquidity and get a big, big move into our value area high. This value area high is sitting at 103K, but I'll show you the bigger range in just a second. So level number one, right, I would say, and I don't really think we have any, we don't really have any. I wish we had, a really nice golden pocket sitting there. Maybe this local golden pocket or 786 potentially. Yeah, right? This was originally the level that we actually had a nice long setup from this golden pocket 786 zone in the premium Discord last week. That wound up bringing us all the way up to the daily naked point of control. But right now, we still have that 786 untapped, and we have the daily naked point of control, and we have the value area low, right? I'm going to take this golden pocket off just because we've already tapped the level. Bada boom. Bitcoin getting a little push down here. But if we do continue down, this is that first level that I am looking at for a bounce. Very simply put. And again, it's just the simple volume profile theory, right? And the fact that we have confluence down there with the local 786, with the daily naked point of control. I put more of the weight on the daily naked point of control. That 786 isn't that big. It's kind of just hyper local. But yeah, daily naked point of control, value area low. Simple volume profile strategy there, right? Or theory, I should say. Hold above the value area low. If we get bullish confirmations here, may be able to catch a long back up to the POC. If we lose the value area low, guys, Bitcoin is going to zero. I'm just kidding. It is not going to go to zero. Probably ever, if I had to guess, right? But again, you can see that $84,000 to $83,000 zone. We have these daily naked points of controls. We have all the liquidity sitting down there that we just looked at, right? And you also have the local golden pocket, right? So zone number one, same levels as yesterday. Zone number one, sitting right here between about $91,500 and $91,000. I'm okay slipping below that value area low slightly as long as we can reclaim, right? So that is level number one. 100% daily naked point of control, value area low. That's level number one. I just read off the numbers. Make sure you mark those off on your chart. If we lose those levels, let me go ahead and hide that fib, and I will let me pull up the next level, which is going to be the current value area low, which sits at about $89,474, right? Or $89,500, we'll call it, right? This is the same theory, right? Because sure, maybe we can hold that $91,000 previous value area low and get the bounce, right? With the daily naked point of control. That's why I like that level. The reason I am willing to look at that previous value area low is because it is confluent with that daily naked point of control. If we lose that previous value area low and we start coming down a little bit more, 100% all eyes on two levels. Number one, current value area low sitting at 89.5, and this is very confluent with our lower range, value area high. This comes down to about 88,500. So zone number two that I would really want to hold, seriously want to hold, is between 89,474 and 88,400, 88,500. Because again, once we start breaking down below that level, I am anticipating lower prices for Bitcoin. At least down to our third zone, which again is sitting where we have all that liquidity sitting. And we have I'm going to have to reset these settings real quick. And we have that golden pocket sitting there as well, right? So down here, we have long setups getting ready. We have confirmations that we're going to be looking for down here if we come down there. But again, at that point, if you come down here, we're long in the POC, right? Could you get a bounce off the POC? Sure, we talk about this all the time, especially when it's confluent with a Fibonacci level like this. But we do have to be careful if you take a long off that POC, right? Again, not just longing once we get down there. We have to get the confirmations. We have specific ones that we're looking at because of all that liquidity. But if we get the bounce, you have to understand you're pretty much longing into the value area high. And based off the laws of the volume profile, once we get below that value area high, there is a high probability you are going to fill that range in full, right? So those are the three major levels. To be honest with you, I really just want to hold the $91,000 level. That would be absolutely primo, right? We lose that 88,000 or 89,500 to about 88,500 is the next key zone. And then we just don't want to lose that value area high. If we do, you do have that backup level here at the POC golden pocket with all that liquidity sitting on the heat map. Where's it at? Right here, right? Let me see. Pull this up on the 1 month chart. It's a little bit cleaner, maybe. Let's see. Let's check in on chat really quickly here while that loads up. Jesse is the most beautiful Australian. Jesse, are you Australian? Shout out to all the Australians out there. Coolest accent. I can listen to Australian people talk all day long. Shout out to Jay Violet. I think she's from Australia. Let's see. Oh, unless Jay Violet's in the chat, then she is. Shout out to Jay Violet. Another fellow CandleMafia Australian. I wish I was Australian. You guys have the coolest accent. Oh, no. Anyway, that's my Australian accent. Let's see. Shout out to the Chris Amella said, yo, it's Frankie Candles. Lighten up some chart and crypto lighten up the scene, chart and crypto waves, chasing that green from the blockchain hustle to the moon we zoom, riding price spikes, watch the market boom, hodl tight. Yo, shout out to Chris Amella. I appreciate you, bro. Little bit of poetry. But Wick 589 is some competition, guys. Wick 589's got some competition. Okay, so yeah, there's that liquidity sitting. You can see it much, much clearer here. Let me reset that setting there. You can see that liquidity much clearer on this level, on this time frame, right? So between basically 84 all the way down to about 82K, right? So that does sit pretty much from 84K, right, below this low, all the way to below this low. And you can see I have a level here that says licks. That is for liquidations, right? So, scenario number one, preferable scenario would be come on down, play around with this value area low, get bullish confirmations, look for the reclaim, get the move back up towards the POC. That's if we get the drop first, right? If we don't come up and get the bear divs first, right? Other than that, if that happens, right, we'll be looking for the short. But that's ideal situation number one. Situation number two, which hopefully we don't have to deal with, but that will be coming down to your current range of value area low / value area high confluence. Hopefully you don't get stuck in that range. And again, that is essentially just going to be a value area low retest for a push back into the POC. That would be the bullish case. Option number three, lose the value area high here. I think there's a very high probability your next stop is going to be that POC, all that liquidity, and that Fibonacci zone. I will be looking for longs here, but I will be treating them as scalps. Meaning, if I come down here, let's say we get some nice confirmation. I'm not going to share the full setup with you, but let's just say I catch a nice little long position here. I have to look at this as a scalp to the value area high until proven otherwise. Meaning, if the price does come down there, right, we get those confirmations, we come in here, I got to take some profit off the table and move my stop loss to break even here, because if we get stuck under that value area high, we all know the next likely stop for price is going to be the value area low. And at that point, you're very close to the invalidation level for lower lows, right? Or the invalidation level for a higher low, which would call for lower lows, bringing you down towards that 70 to 72K level, right? So I know this is a lot of levels, and I hope this is not confusing, right? So you could just think of this like this. This is a little cleaner. Pull your daily naked point of control up, by the way, and then you have all these daily naked point of controls down here as well, right? So that'd be nice support. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even if you pull your full, let's pull this full fib real quick. Come on. Give me that wick. There we go. Let's pull up. Yeah, I mean, the golden pocket's right down there. I mean, something like this is definitely possible, right? Even if you come down here, something like that is possible. Again, we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen so many times, right? And the biggest example would be August. I've been talking about this for like weeks, right? That is possible, right? But it's really sketchy. Once you break below that 786, we were probably going down to the low 40s, right? Let me see something here. Let's see if this looks anything. Not that I would use this to predict price, guys. Just I want to be very clear. But yeah, you can see, right? Like that is definitely something that could happen, right? So you have your low into the high, big retracement into that 786, and then you come back up. Yeah, this is something that could play out too, right? Like maybe you come down, back to the low, you come back in, then you reject the higher levels, flip that value area low to support, back above the POC, boom, and then you blast off to, based off this fractal, $154,000 for Bitcoin. Oh my God, 154K. I'm kidding. That's not what I would expect, at least. I would not expect that to play out exactly like that. But you could just kind of see, right? Like this is, something, and that's why I say you could technically bounce off this level, right? Because that 786 is what would invalidate, losing that 786 would invalidate the uptrend, right? But if you bounce there, you could still put in that higher low and see something like that play out. Somebody screenshot this. Hopefully we don't have to see it play out. Hopefully we could just come and then, do something more. Hopefully we could just do this, right? Ignore all this price action, right? Hopefully we could just do that. That would be nice. But this is also an option. So just be prepared. I don't want to deal with all this garbage down here. It's a much more difficult decision to make, right? Because then you're like, it's just a lot scarier to long that deep dip. So yeah, there you go. So this is what I would look at. Current range, and if you guys want this exact range on your chart, you could join the premium Discord where I share my charts, and you could just import them into your trading view and get my exact chart with all my folders. But if you just want to get this one profile in your chart, it's pulled from about November 10th all the way to the current price action, right? So you would pull that. That's your value area low, and then that daily naked point of control sits at 91,349. So the hope is, hopefully we bounce there, right? And again, you get above your value area low. It is a journey to your POC, right? You cool off, then you go to your POC. Lose that POC, your next level of support sitting down here. You would hope that's the case. Lose this, next level is down here. That is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, guys. We'll be looking for the longs as well as the shorts if we do come up first. And again, we do have those bearish divergences we just looked at in the beginning of the stream, which are actually starting to play out a bit. So if we get the move down first, that's what I'm looking at. If we get the move up first, that's our next key level of resistance, sitting between 96,000 and 98,300. Pretty simple. It's the same thing we looked at yesterday. Again, nothing has really changed here. Let's check in on the chat. Shout out to Pennywise, everybody's favorite friendly clown. Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. Let's see. Shout out to Fox3. He said, we doubled in 2 weeks and nobody took profit. Shout out to Fox3. Got to take profit, guys. Got to take profit. Shout out to Samcam, said, don't sleep on Frankie's techniques. 6 weeks listening and applying. My account is back in the green. Shout out to Samcam, because guys, not only does this help, or not only does this TA work for the day trades and the scalp trades, obviously that we talk about and show all the time here, but it also helps for the long-term predictions. This is the same way we anticipated this bounce from here into this golden pocket. This had everything to do with Fibonacci retracements and volume profiles. The volume profiles will absolutely change your life. It is the best way to look at the market, 1,000% in my opinion. It is the most predictive way to look at the market, right? But this also works for like long-term predictions, right? You could use this on a 5-minute time frame, just like we look at the volume profiles. And I know that, we have a lot of levels on here, and I know that, honestly, price action's been very choppy recently, so it looks very confusing, but I just want to be very clear, right? Like, you don't even need, like, if you're not paying attention to all the intricate levels that I'm talking about, right, you would just look at this as a volume profile. It's the same thing that we looked at up here. You come to the lows, you look for the longs. That will likely bring you back up to the value area high. When you hit the value area high, you look for the shorts back to the low, back to the POC, back to the high. You deviate above. This is an expensive asset. When you get above a value area high, you can think of this as an overbought asset. So you're already increasing the probabilities that you're going to be right by looking for shorts when price is overvalued, right? Most people think, oh my God, breakout. Oh my God, breakout. We're going to $1 million. That is where you 100% want to be looking for shorts, right? Assuming that it doesn't look strong, right? You have to understand how to read the chart. Sometimes a breakout is strong if it's on a lot of volume and you can get the big breakout, right? It's going to break out sometimes. But if your money flow is coming down, right, and you're deviating above your high, you're going to be looking for shorts. And once you get stuck inside the value area high, you are very likely to go to the POC and then the value area low. And you might say, well, we didn't hit the value area low. Well, that wasn't the range that we were looking at, right? Because price action wasn't developed there. Look at your previous range, and it plays out perfect. Value area low, back to the high, deviate from the high, back in. Look at the rejection on that value area high. Bearish retest, back to the POC. POC acts as a magnet. You cling to it, and eventually, boop, right to the value area low. What happens then? Back to the POC. Once you flip the POC, next likely place for price to go, value area high, reject the high, back to the POC, back to the low, back to the POC, back to the high, so on and so forth, right? So you already increase your win rate by looking for shorts when you should be looking for shorts, not longs, right? Most people just wait for it to pump, and then that's where they're looking for the longs to send this thing to $1 million, and they always get wrecked, right? Very important to realize, but that's why they're so helpful. And it just gives you like it's just the magnetic qualities. Once you get above that value area low and you stay above it, there's like an 80% chance. A lot of people call this an 80% setup to fill that range in full, which could be calling for 105,000. But we can't sleep on the fact that we have massive, massive resistance here. We got to get above that. Hold above 97, 98K, I think is a high probability of 105K and maybe even higher. So there we go. All right, let's see. Just broke the daily low. Yeah, those bear divs are playing out there. 10-hour bear div, 8-hour bear div is finally printing. This is what we were just looking at in the beginning of the stream, looking for that to start to print. And she's pushing down. Locally, we can look at our hyper-local volume profile. I would look at that like this. All right, so local support, I would say. Yeah, local support, unfortunately, we do have not unfortunately, but fortunately, we do have a daily level right here. Zoom back in, right? So we have the daily sitting here at 93,722, value area low sitting at about 93.3. So yeah, this is the volume profile I would look at locally, right? And what happens? You can't make it up. Come to the value area high. To be honest, you don't really have any bearish divergences up here or anything like that locally, but you do have the 8-hour bear div, right? 8-hour divergence, 10-hour divergence, right? Lower highs on our momentum waves, higher highs on our price. That gives you that discrepancy that makes you look for the correction to the downside. And where's that happen? It happens at the value area high. This is where most people think it's going to break out. But if you know what to look for on the charts as you approach that resistance, you can look for the high probability reversal to where? From the value area high to the POC, lose the POC, we may be on our way to that value area low. By the way, sitting at $93,374. So there you go. Those are the local levels I would look at. Value area low, 93,400. POC, sitting at 94,810. Value area high, 95,333. That's what I'd be looking at. So yeah, those are the local levels. But for the most part, I am paying attention to the larger key levels, right? So again, maybe we come down. Well, actually, I'll pull back up that profile real quick. Pull up our previous range, right? So maybe, and the daily naked point of control, right? So if we do come down here, deviate below the low, come down below the macro value area low, come back up, flip this local value area low, get the bigger move into the POC. So again, I'm fine letting this drop into our next key level of support. 91,349 is where that starts. But locally, right, there are some potential scalps to be had in this range, right? And again, you treat this one just like you treat the gigantic one, right? So you could trade these little ranges just like you trade the larger ranges, right? Or this little range down here. So there you go. Those are the local levels I'm looking at. But we'll see if those divergences continue to pay us out here. Where's that 15-minute money flow? Probably crossing into the red, I would think. There it is. Crossing on over into the red there, right? So 4-hour red dot with the 15-minute money flow crossover would indicate the trend is likely to continue to the downside with that 4-hour 15-minute market cipher B116 strategy. Not too shabby. So we'll see. That 15-minute money flow stays in the red, but that 4-hour not only red dot, but bearish divergence-ish, right? Higher highs, continuous lower highs. So yeah, we'll see if that can continue us down here. Also, 8-hour bearish divergence. Another thing to look for, guys, if we are going to get the bigger move down towards this next key level at 91,300, what we can look for here is if we could keep this red dot on the 8-hour, right, which has an hour and a half to confirm. If we can get that in the next hour and a half, that 30-minute money flow crosses into the red, that could be the thing that will indicate or start the bigger move to the downside. Watch that 30-minute money flow cross over into the red. That might be able to start the bigger move down because the 15-minute is starting to cross over, and we are starting. You can see it right here, right? 15-minute money flow. Let me make sure I have this accurate. Yeah, 15-minute money flow crosses right here. Continuation to the downside. That 4-hour market cipher B116 strategy, one of the simplest strategies you could possibly use. We have video tutorials on the channel showing you exactly how to use it. I believe it's in the beginner series, so go ahead and check it out if you have not already. So there we go. Bada boom, bada bing. Why don't my volume pro? Why does my I think that's supposed to say VP not look the same as yours? Where are you pulling yours from when looking at the daily? Shout out to DJ Mac P. Shout out to you, bro. It depends, right? You don't pull. I'm going to pull them always from like different places depending on what I'm looking at. This one is pulled from Monday, the 11th of November, 2024, all the way to there. I have two pulled here, right? So this one's the previous range is pulled from Monday, the 11th of November, and then it ends on Thursday, the 6th of March, right? And then the current one is that same range, just pulled over all the way to the right, right? And it does move the levels slightly. But for me, I like to pay attention to both of these ranges. That's why I have them both on here, and I turn them on and off, right? So there we go. Hopefully it helps you out. Frankie is the market maker. Shout out to Trey Flip Jones. I am not the market maker. I swear, guys. I swear I'm not the market maker. Hang on one second. Let me mute this really quick. Yo. Yeah, go ahead. Dump it. Yeah, it's already getting pushed down. All right. Peace. Was that muted? Was that muted? I hope that was muted. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Ketchy says, that's what the market maker would say. Let's see. That's what the market maker would say. Sus. I'm not sus. I swear, guys. I'm definitely not the market maker. Anyway, let's continue on here. Phoebe is the market maker. Now, that I cannot deny. This is the market maker, guys. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Now go dump it, Mrs. Candles. You're okay. Just snap it back into place. Yeah, you're good. All right. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's see. Are we bouncing off of the 200 EMA on the 30-minute chart? Shout out to Ahmed. I think he said that. Yeah, shout out to Ahmed. Good to see you in here, bro. We could go ahead and we can go ahead and check it for you. Not the 9,200. I wouldn't say bouncing, at least just yet. But you are hitting it. You want to get back up there and close that candle above. Can we do it? Oh, there she goes. Now you're bouncing. There you go, Ahmed. But yeah, guys, we're going to take a look at some altcoins really, really quick. She still hasn't washed her face. Shout out to Erica. Yeah, she's had that makeup on for a little bit too long. I think that lipstick is just stuck on her lips forever. Yo, shout out to Mark Dutch. Ban Mark Dutch. I'm just kidding. Never ban Mark Dutch. He's an OG. That's my girlfriend, bro. Anyway, let's continue on. It was not muted. Shout out to Benjamin. Shout out to you, bro. Tony, delete this stream afterwards. They're going to know. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Can we buy Mrs. Candles in the merch store? Yo, I'm not going to lie. Tony, let's see if we can find a source for Mrs. Candles that we can give away or sell on the merch store. Tony, that might be the move right there. That might be the move. Let's see. Yo, we got Eron Schmeeds in the chat. What is going on, bro? Shout out to Eron. Welcome in, bro. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, bro. Let's go. We got Eron in the chat. Aerodrome. Yeah, we can check out Aero. Whoops. Bada boom. Let's take a look at Aerodrome. Actually, I pulled it up over here. All right. So on Aero, we actually looked at this. Must have looked at this on Friday. This remains the same as well, guys. Man, I'll be honest. Like, patience has been the game here. We have our key level here, right? And just to walk you guys through this, right? Because this is not, you can do this too. I promise you can do this too. I know this looks confusing if you're new here. I know this looks confusing. It might seem like super like complex. Like, how am I going to learn all these tools? We have so many simple tutorials on the channel that can teach you how to do this, and it is very simple. We also teach it every day live here. On this live stream. But what do we have here, right? We have this volume profile, right? And just so you know, this volume profile was pulled from all the way back here in 2024. We use this same range, right? This is ends right here, right? We use this same volume profile to not only predict, I don't know, we would. I'm sure we did. I don't like saying we called something if we didn't, but on this way down, if we looked at Aerodrome at all, what I would have said was break into the range, get stuck onto the value area high. Next likely place for price to go is the POC, and eventually a high probability, almost some would say an 80% chance of coming down to the value area low. Once you lose this range, your asset is now undervalued, right? Inside the value area, which is this range, inside the range is considered fair value when you're looking at a volume profile. Below is undervalued. So this is where you want to be looking for longs. And once you are able to get some bullish confirmations, you're going to be looking for price to seek fair value. And if you can get bullish confirmations, which I'm not going to break down exactly what was going on down here. We could, but I'm going to save time. If we do wind up getting bullish confirmations, let's say you get an entry on a long, right? You're going to be anticipating price. It gives you a perfect blueprint on where price is going to go next, because if you can hold those bullish comps come up, price is going to gravitate towards the value area low. Mind you, this was pulled from 2024. Price gets its move up. You get into the range, flip it to support. Next likely place for price to go is going to be the POC of the range. And it wasn't just the POC of the range. You also have your not full, but you have a local golden pocket 786 retracement pulled from the swing high to the swing low, or the lower high to the low, right? Golden pocket POC confluence. If you're looking for a Fibonacci retracement, you're looking for it to go to the golden pocket. Well, beautiful. That lines up with your volume profile. So you could say to yourself, well, hey, all I got to do is break this level, flip it to support, and I can anticipate that POC. Now, where's the next place for price to likely go? Well, we all know that it doesn't always just instantly shoot to the value area high, although the full fill of the range is very, very likely, as we've seen many times on many different assets, right? The full fill of the range is very likely. But it is a journey, right? So we come up to the POC. This is resistance, right? This is the strongest level within the profile, the area where the most volume was transacted. That is the point of control. If you stay below it, right? Like this is going to give you turbulence, and it does act as a magnet for price. So sometimes you could bing bong around a little bit, right? Maybe even get a little bit of a cool off. But as long as you can remain inside this range, the doorway to that POC is open. And once you flip it, very high probability of getting the full fill of the range to the value area high. If you watch this stream for more than 5 minutes, you will see on every asset we look at, this plays out. On anything, right? It's not just crypto. It's stocks, anything. Commodities, you can use volume profiles for. But that's what I'd be looking at, right? Like right now, we're inside our range. This is bullish. Breaking 50 cents was bullish. It's also a psychological level as well, right? So I would say if we get a cool off, right, what are the key levels I'll be watching on Aerodrome? Well, I would love, we have this golden pocket pretty close to the value area low, right? So this zone right here between pretty much 51 and 47 cents, this would be a nice place to put in a higher low. So if we come down there, put in some bullish confirmations, reclaim the value area low, I would expect another move towards that POC and hopefully a continuation of the trend. Why would I expect a continuation of the trend? Look at the money flow. 16-hour money flow starting to cross over into the green. This indicates the overall trend is going to continue to the upside. The money flow indicates the overall trend. Red and green dots indicate the ebbs and flows. Ebbs and flows, right? But as long as that money flow stays in the green, what's that daily doing? Daily's very close to crossing into the green as well, right? So maybe we cool off, but if we could keep some of this money flow in the green, we would anticipate the trend to continue to the upside. This would be key level number 1. Value area low, golden pocket between about 51 and 47 cents. Honorable mention, if we do continue, I would argue if you do work your way all the way down there, no guarantee you get all the way down there, right? Because sometimes you just bing bong around that profile like this, and then you get above the POC and go to the high. But if we do come down there, this anchored VWAP from the bottom of the downtrend will likely move up. So you'll have like 3 levels of confluence. Value area low, golden pocket, anchored VWAP. That'd be very nice, right? Get a bounce off there, continue through the profile. It would also be a very, very nice higher low. So that would be key level number 1. Honorable mention here at the 786 at about 44 cents. And that's pretty much, that's all I'll look at right now. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but this is kind of the big zone that I'd be looking at, really between 43 and 51 cents, right? So yeah, that would be very, very nice. And then obviously the next target, once we break the POC, you look to go to the value area high, sitting at 78 cents. Once you break above the golden pocket, you look to go to the 786, which is confluent with that value area high, sitting at about 73 cents. So there we go. That's what I'd be looking at on Aerodrome. From a market cipher perspective, the daily money flow looks pretty good. Red dot is confirmed. And another thing here, guys, which makes me think, and kind of what we talked about yesterday, why I think we could get little pullbacks here, or potential pullbacks, is because these high time frame VWAPs are starting to cool off. But that's okay, right? Like daily VWAP, daily red dot is fine as long as the money flow stays in the green. Quick market cipher lesson for anybody new here. Red and green dots, green dot, you would think of it like this. in a trend, your red and your green dots on any time frame, right, depending on what time frame you're looking at, if you're looking at an uptrend like this would be a green dot on market cipher B. This would be a red dot on market cipher B. Green dot, red dot, green dot. The money flow is what indicates this, the overall trend, right? And we can see this a million different times on the chart. I show it all the time. Money flow crosses over into the red here. What happens? You're much better off shorting higher lows and letting that trend be your friend all the way down. When money flow crosses into the green, you are much more likely to put in higher lows and higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. The overall trend continues to the upside. So there you go. But yeah, that's what I'd be watching on Aerodrome. Not looking too bad. Just within your profile, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. As long as we stay generally above that value area low, I feel pretty good. We'll see what these higher time frame red dots give us. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Drum Brothers or DRM Brothers. I don't know how to say that. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Say, can you take a look at Ron USD, Ronan? Yes. We could try to take a look at Ronan, no problemo. Write that down. Shout out to DRM Brothers. I appreciate the super chat, bro. $50. Let's go, bro. I appreciate you so much. I will get into it. I do want to take a look at a couple other things, and then we'll jump right into Ronan. Craigie Fandle said, see if we got the same VPs, Frankie, on Turbo. We could try to take a look at Turbo. Tia, I see you guys out there. I see you. Doesn't Bitcoin have a CME gap to fill? I'll tell you what. If it does have a CME gap to feel, yo, don't feel the CME gaps. Just, God. Feeling and filling. Anyway, let's continue on here. Hopefully it is confluent with our key level, which, again, would be previous range value area low, $91,000 with the daily naked point of control, 91.3. Let's check it. Actually, let me see if it pops up on the CME indicator. Big, nice free indicator here. CME got BTC. It's free. It's not mine. It's not popping up here. Let's check the actual CME chart, though. I'll get rid of this. Get rid of that. Pull up the CME chart. Oh, baby, let's go. Okay, so this is actually really nice. Shout out to who said that? I forgot who said it. Shout out to World War. Let's go. I probably shouldn't say that. I don't know if YouTube likes that. But, yeah, we do have a CME gap here. Yeah, man. Listen, this couldn't be any more perfect. Let me see if the volume profile might not be as perfect on CME. And it would be this. You look at that, man. Let's go. All right. Well, I'm actually going to mark this off on the chart now. Because that is really nice confluence. So you have your CME gap here. And then you have the, yeah. All right. So let me just mark this out real quick. 91.6. 91.6. Yeah, man. I mean, it's like right about there, 91.6. I mean, just another level of confluence there at the, wow, this makes me feel pretty good about at least coming down there, filling that gap. Oh, man, send it. But then if you lose it, oh, man. Yeah. All right, so that goes right along with our plan. Shout out to World. I appreciate you for bringing that up, bro. Because there we go. Another level of confluence perfectly lines up with that next key level for a bounce between now 91.6 all the way down to about 91K. Come back down, right? We're back above our doorway to higher prices, which is the value area low. Come fill the CME gap. And then maybe we could come up a little bit higher. That would be really nice. If we lose it, though, I still would be pretty bearish. Like that would make me feel almost worse about coming down to lose $88,000, to be honest. But yeah, that gives this level a little bit more strength. Shout out to World. Shout out to Friedrich said, weren't you looking for shorts, Frankie? Yes, I am always looking for longs and shorts. Absolutely, yeah. So Friedrich, just to kind of give you an idea, I was actually short from the top here before the weekend. So on Friday, I think it was on Friday. Took a short from up here. But I wound up moving my stop loss early over the weekend because I didn't want to pay attention to my phone. It was my birthday. And they stopped me out at break even, right? I'd still be holding that trade if it didn't stop me out. But yeah, like the last short on Friday, we literally looked, right? Like, and I don't give the exact setup, but I talk about what we're looking for, right? So on Friday, we were looking for or maybe it was Thursday, we were looking for the bearish divergence. It was Thursday. So Thursday, we were looking, where were we on Thursday? Let's see. Yeah, Thursday. Actually, let me see if I could pull this up. Hopefully I don't leak anything secret here. What is this from? 421. This is all old. Where's it at? Where's it at? Yeah, so this is the this is the premium Discord. We actually I mentioned this briefly on the live stream on Thursday, talking about, well, hey guys, if we come in here and we wind up getting, we were front running that bearish divergence. If we got the 4-hour green dot, we were looking for a new higher high on Bitcoin into the key level of resistance. Daily and monthly naked point of control, big, strong levels of resistance with a lot of backup above it, right? So this might be what you're talking about. Still looking for other shorts as well. But we look for that higher high on price into key resistance for the rejection back to the downside, right? And we talked about that on the live stream as well. We wind up coming up. Let me pull up the actual level here, the daily naked point of control, right? We come up, we put the higher high on price on the 4-hour, right? So we were right here on Thursday. Look for that higher high into the daily naked point of control. You get your bearish divergence, and you get the nice drop over the weekend, which is really nice, right? Because I was like out to dinner with Mrs. Candles and on my birthday, and I was like, all right, the short's starting to play out here, right? On the Sunday, my birthday, I was like, this is great. This is great. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to relax. I'm in profit. I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. And it came up and stopped me out to like the tick. So unfortunately, I'm not still holding that trade. Otherwise, I would be. I would have just been holding that. Even if I stopped out for a small loss, I would have just taken the loss. But yeah, that was the short that I looked for. But unfortunately, I'm just not in it anymore. But we still have more shorts up here that we're looking for. But yeah, I'm always looking for shorts and longs. If you watch the beginning of the stream, I talk about like kind of where I'm looking for the rejections, which would obviously be next key level, monthly naked point of control at between 96 and 96.6, right? But the POCs right here. So if we did come back up, I would still be looking for potential rejections from here. But whether we come up or down first depends on what I'll do, right? If we come up first, I'll look for another short. If we come down first for a nice little retracement, I'll look for a long, right? Very simple. So yeah, hopefully it helps you out. Let's see. Shout out to Cranky Fandles, said gutted, missed a 400% move. Shout out to Cranky Fandles. Oh God, what 400% move? What was that? Let's see. Shout out to Al Jr. said, Frankie, I got the same level using the trend fib. The pump wick at 83,962 to the wick at 95,712, and then extended back to the pump wick. The golden pocket is right at 91.6 and 91,245. LFG, dump it, baby. Let's go. But yeah, let's see. I would be upset, except it's Taco Tuesday. Shout out to the Dusty Hunt. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here. So, yeah, we'll see if those bear divs print, right, or if they confirm, right? Because, like, right now, I would say 8-hour bear div, 10-hour bear div, obviously, as we looked at in the beginning of the stream. Yeah, that 12-hour green dot was printing earlier today, I believe, which would have made it a little bit more likely to come up first. But now we have those lower time frame bear divs, so maybe we come down first. But, again, I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm just waiting for the next key levels. So I don't really have a preference here. I'm just waiting for the move. So there we go. Let's take a quick look. I don't know if we're really going to check in on Ethereum too much because Ethereum is like, if you just go to yesterday's, it's like literally just sitting in the same exact spot. Key level support still remains the same. 1662 all the way down to the 786 at 1609. Lose the 786. You don't want to hang out down here for too long because it could open the door to 1300. But just like Bitcoin, if we do come down here and get bullish confirmations, you might be able to make your way back up to your next target, which would be sitting up here towards the value area high, 786, 1940 to $2,000. And then that opens up the very beginning of the door to higher prices. And I mean like the very beginning. Because if you pull up your upper 2021 value area here, go away, malware. There it is, right? Really, $2,100 is, as you guys know, the big level you want to get above. Flip 2,100, POC, value area high. That's what I'd like to see. But until we get out of this lower range, We still have some work to do. But all those levels remain exactly the same. You can pause the video and copy those levels if you want to get them on your chart. And, yeah, daily money flow still trying to come up here, so that's nice. ETH is still, yes, ETH is still depressing AF, as usual. Yeah, shout out to J. Cole, not the best looking chart. But let's take a look at Solana. Nothing has really changed on Solana either, right? We talked about this yesterday. Key level of support, POC. I mean, we're just looking within our range here, right? You have your value area low. We flip that to support, and here's another example of the volume profiles, right? I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I cover it every single day on how we were able to see the move below the value area and then predict the move back up. But just at the end of the day, you can see, right? Once you get above your value area low, flip it to support. Where's that next likely place for price to go? Directly into the POC, right? The magnetic nature of the volume profiles is undefeated, right? It's resistance until proven otherwise, but once you get in and flip it to support, right, you close these 2 daily candles, next likely place for price to go is the POC. You tap it to the dollar before you get a cool off, and then once you get above the POC, next target's the value area high. So as long as we can stay above this POC, right, even if you play around here a little bit, as long as you can reclaim it, right, you would look for that bigger move through the profile. So key level, next major target, value area high sitting at 167.08 on Solana. This is a zone because we do have the 786 retracement level, which, by the way, another reason that we were looking for the golden pocket here to get hit, right? So you have the golden pocket right near the POC. That's the first target. You're getting a little bit of turbulence there. But once you get above that golden pocket, you have a daily naked point of control sitting at 153. But for the most part, stay above that POC, flip the golden pocket, I would be looking up here, right? Just for the full fill of the range. And yeah, let me see. Pull the fib from the low to the high, golden pocket. I mean, hey, like that would be really, really nice. You have the golden pocket, POC, right? I would even say golden pocket 786, right? Like if you can come down there, hold the local high or low, push it up into the value area high. Understanding the 153.82 daily naked point of control is there. Probably going to give you some turbulence, but overall, that's what I would look for. Also, massive resistance here, guys. Anchored VWAP from the all-time high sitting at 159.06. That'd be a big level to watch as well. So there you go. Let's see. Daily money flow is in the green here on Solana. Tis in the green. Shout out to Lars. Shout out to Summer Breeze, said, smashing the like button. You teach gold, and it's all free. You've helped me profit so many times. Shout out to Summer Breeze. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Summer Breeze. That's what I like to hear. I don't have my cash. I do have my cash on my desk. Never mind. I just looked past the giant stack of cash. Should we throw some cash for Summer Breeze? Let's go, baby. Bing bong. Shout out to the volume profiles. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Mrs. Candle's going to be pissed. She hates it. She hates when I throw the money. And low-key, the stack, she cleans the money up. I'm not going to lie. She comes in here. She can't stand the mess. She picks it all up. And I'm not going to lie. The stack gets smaller and smaller every single time. It's okay. She deserves a tip. Anyway, let's take a look here. So we took a look at ETH. We took a look at Solana. We took a look at Aerodrome. Let's take a look at Ronin for DRM Bros. And I don't have a chart for this. Oh, good Lord. Okay, there's a little bit more. Let's check it on. Look at it. Look at it against the Turkish lira. Dang, there's not a lot of. Yeah, I'm gonna just look at this on the. I don't typically look at the OKX chart. But it's really the only one that has any kind of significant price history. So let me just mark this out real quickly for you. I'm not going to mark out every single level. I'm just going to mark out the significant levels you did. You came down to the monthly. I'm just going to mark out like significant levels of resistance. Weekly. Actually, pull this volume profile. Okay, so you got a value area right here. You have your low, your POC, and your high. And you got, yeah, this is a little bit of a, you could break this one down, but I'm going to look at it as a larger range with your low, your your POC and your high. So yeah, I mean, the only volume profile that I can see here is, and let me just go ahead and mark out some of these other weeklies. Whoops. Boom. Whoops. That one's tapped. Okay, so I'll just mark out some of these. All right, so if we come on down to a lower time frame here, yeah, this is, so you can see, right? You come into your range, reject the value area low. There's also, you have a weekly in there now. Get below the value area. And like, we just pulled this live, right? Like, I just pulled this live from a range all the way in the past. And this just goes to show you how you can use these profiles to anticipate moves. Break into the volume profile, bearish retest on the value area high. At that point, you were anticipating acceptance into the range and your journey to begin to the POC, where you get your bounce. Once you lose that POC, you were looking for a move to your value area low. And here, you couldn't make it out, right? And this was obviously during a really bearish time. But you bounce off the value area low. You come up to the POC one more time, right? Right up to the POC one more time before finally losing the range and coming much lower. So I would say this. If you want this thing to continue up, your big battle here is going to be getting back into this value area, right? You have the value area low sitting here at 70 cents. That's the level to break above. You also have a weekly and a POC confluence up there as well, so you have resistance above. But I would say if you could get back above 70 cents, it at least opens up the door to start your journey to your POC. Once you flip the POC, you can look to the value area high. Maybe you respect this range a little bit, right? Maybe you do something like this, right? You go from the value area low to the POC to the high. You get a cool off back to the low. That would be a golden pocket retracement at that time. And then maybe that's where you put a higher low in. At that point, hopefully your money flow is coming up and you can continue into your larger range. So these are the two major ranges I would look at. Locally, I mean, you're still 33% away, like 30% away from this. But this would be the big key level to look at or to break, right? I would say 70 cents. Get above 70 cents. You still have resistance above, but you could at least potentially get accepted into your profile and start the bigger move to the upside. And then really, $1.27 is like the next doorway to higher prices, right? So yeah, that's what I would be looking at on Ronin for the most part. So value area low, 71 cents, POC 86 cents, value area high 108, and then above you, your value area low of the other upper range, $1.27. POC at $1.64, and then you have a weekly here at 201 and the POC at about 282. But I'd really like to see, yeah, like 16-hour money flow looks like it might want to, it's starting to come out locally here, but it looks like it might want to start to push to the upside. Yeah, daily money flow is still pretty deep in the red. So, I mean, you really got to see this. You could come lower, potentially. Yeah, this is a blood diamond. I would almost guarantee it. Not many things I would guarantee, but there it is, right? So you got a 16-hour blood diamond. So it doesn't really look that great, at least as of right now. At least Bitcoin, right, has some divergences and stuff, but at least the money flows come up into the green. Like, right, this doesn't really, yeah. You could continue down a little bit more. But that would be, if you want it to go up, that is kind of the levels that I would be watching. So there we go. Oh, yo, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you for the alt list. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. I almost put you in timeout. I don't know why that always happens. So there we go. Let's see. Shout out to Shunzin, said sell in May or get broke, baby. Let's see. Ton. I will try. We're not going to be able to get to every single coin, but we will try our best. When 10K Bitcoin? Shout out to Tony Roaz. I don't know. We would need something to break for it to go to 10K. Shout out to Tony. You guys are crazy, bro. All right. Let's see. Shout out to Zach from Romania. Shout out to Zach. What is going on, bro? All right. Let's see. All right. Let's take a look at Link. Let's take a look at Link, and then we'll take a look at Turbo. Turbo time. Let's see. We got Turbo here. We have not looked at Turbo in I can't tell you how long, but we do have this old volume profile. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. You can't make it up, guys. It's almost like the volume profiles are magical. So we lost the range, obviously, right? We lost this volume profile. We came up, we created new value, we broke down, we got accepted into the range, POC value area low. Got the bounce from the low, tested the POC, and then lost the range. This is now your undervalued asset respective or relative to this range. You get high time frame, lower lows with higher lows on the daily with money flow coming up. Those are bullish divergences. You can look for a bounce. If you get the bounce, that's where you look for price to seek fair value, which is sitting up here. Once you break above that value area low, the POC is very likely the next stop. I'll come on out to a lower time frame so you can see it play out in real time. Or not in real time, but you can see how it actually happens, right? Resistance, flip it to support. Next likely place for price to go, POC. Once you get above the POC and you flip it to support, you look for your journey to continue to the dang value area high. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But now we're rejecting the value area high, so it's definitely going to 0. I'm just kidding. But I would say, let's see here. You do have daily naked point of control here. It's really the only one I'm going to mark out. There's like a ton of them above you right now. Yeah, I'm just that would be like hyper local. I'm not going to do the hyper local analysis on this. So I would say, do we have a weekly down there as well? Not really. Monthly? No. So I would say, let's pull our fib from the low all the way to the high. I don't hate this. I would say, so yeah, I would say right here. This would be, I mean, it's not your only support, but this golden pocket daily naked point of control, you have some nice confluence there. It's a pretty big, yeah. So, I mean, this would be, you went from the low to the POC to the high. And you even had, like, this is kind of textbook low-key. This is actually turbo trading very technically here. You have your higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. I mean, beautiful 3-hour and 4-hour bearish divergences into your value area high. I mean, that is textbook for the rejection back into your range. Next likely place for price to go here, in my opinion, is going to be the POC of the range. You're probably holding local fib levels right now. Local golden pocket. Yeah, so you're hitting your golden pocket 786. But if you don't hold that 7-8, I mean, just in general, based off the volume profile, you know, maybe you get a bounce there, but you would look for the POC, reject the high. Once you get stuck under the high, you're looking for the POC, lose the POC, come to the value area low, and then if we deviate again, you could potentially look for confirmations into that daily naked point of control golden pocket for a reclaim of the range, and then look for that next fill. So yeah, that's what I look at. Value area low sitting at 0.0034, POC sitting at 0.041, value area high 0.059. Same range we've been looking at since the last time we looked at Turbo, which I couldn't even tell you when that was. But still remains relevant. And then let's see from this higher low to the high. That probably puts it, yeah, right on the valley. Okay. So I would actually, two different, and yeah, we don't have, like, it just exploded. So you don't have any, like, significant daily levels up there either. And we don't have any NPOCs on the value area low, which I would love to see. So, yeah, I would say two major levels, if we do continue down to hold, would be the local golden pocket value area low confluence. And then the, yeah, I would say come down here, value area low golden pocket. And then if you lose that golden pocket, where's the next likely place for price to go? 786, which sits down here. And then that's the next, the full golden pocket daily naked point of control confluence. So these are the two levels I would look at. Zone number one, between 0.0036, 0.0034. Zone number 2, 0.0031, 0.0029. That's what I would look at on turbo. And then if you start losing that 786, I think you're probably coming closer to the POC at 0.0022, down to this super wonked local range here. So that is what I would look for on turbo. Shout out to I don't know who asked for turbo. I saw a bunch of people asking for turbo. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Jack. What is going on, bro? Thank you for the super chat. Said hashtag Candle Gang. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Jack. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate that. Let's get it. I'm gonna like it. I'm liking it. Let's go. Hats for Gen Z. Yo, shout out to Gen Z, bro. We're rooting for a hat. Maybe we'll give some hats away Maybe we'll give some hats away this Friday. Maybe we'll give some hats. We got to give Gen Z another shot to win some hats. So maybe we'll do that. Shout out to Gen Z. Let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Candle Gang for real. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to Brendan C. He came back. Shout out to Brendan. Mrs. Candles didn't scare you away. Did you see Mrs. Candles yesterday, Brendan? Shout out to you, bro. Oh, God. I'm definitely 33 now, guys. Oh, God. Oh, God. The leg just cramped up. Shout out to Brendan. I know you're new here. Your first stream was yesterday, but if this doesn't scare you away, you're going to be a Candle Mafia member for life. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. We love you, Mrs. Candles. I can't kiss you on camera because we'll get banned. But I do love you. And your hands do smell amazing. Shout out to Brendan C. Anyway, let's continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Captain Kirk in the chat. What is going on, Cap? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. No, he did not see it. Shout out to Brendan. Well, at the end of the stream, I always do a fake out. I always come back on after we run the outro music. And I was hoping you were still there because I was like, hopefully this doesn't scare you away, Brendan. But this is Mrs. Candles. So now you know Mrs. Candles, Brendan. Drop those Mrs. Candles hands in the chat if you got them. Did she get a facelift? Shout out to Sam Cam. No, she didn't have any work done. She's very self-conscious about that, by the way. Yo, shout out to Ligma Wick. Just got off my new job. Can't watch the live stream at work anymore, but I hopped in to lick that like button. Let's go. Hashtag Ligma like. Shout out to Ligma Wick. Possibly one of the best names in the Candle Mafia. But yeah, that is what I'd be looking at on Turbo. We'll see what happens there. Bitcoin continuing its dump to the downside, at least on the 5-minute time frame, which is what I have over here on my other monitor. Oh, my God, she's dumping, guys. She's going to zero. She's going to zero. Or is she just using that magnetic volume profile? Did we come down to that daily yet? Where's that daily sitting? Oh, whoops, wrong chart. Where's that dang daily sitting? I think we're hitting the daily. That's my guess. Almost. Daily sitting at 93,722. But again, within the context of our volume profile here. Whoops. Yeah. I mean, we'll just probably respect this range, to be honest. And then hopefully break down and come down into our deeper retracement levels. So there we go. See, what does this move from the top here? Nice little 1.6% move. Good Lord. This move's going to be fast, so many longs. Yeah, we can check the heat map real quick. Check the local heat map. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, she already chopped out a bunch of them. Let's check the 48-hour. Yeah, she's taking out some of that liquidity. We still have liquidity above, though. Still leading up into about 96.3. So we'll see. Kind of hope we get the bigger retracement, though, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. Just continuing down. Those bear divs, guys. Those bear divs. We'll get you. I'm glad we looked at those in the beginning of the stream. So there we go. Yeah, 16-hour green dot never printed. 5-hour green dot printing. 30-minute money flow crossing over yet? Not quite. Not quite. Could also do something like this, maybe. If we are. This is if we are going to get the move all the way down to our bigger zone here. Could say we get the bounce here. I don't know if we're going to bounce here, but once you get that 30-minute green dot, if it happens, right, you can look for some of these retracement levels, see if you can catch that 30-minute money flow rolling into the red, and then ride it on down. Might be something I look for. Depends on if we get the retracement. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of like right now. I've got a lot going on during the day right now, so I haven't really been like micro scalping much. Even though this is not a bad range to do it on. But yeah, I've just been kind of like, this is just like nothing for me right now, at least. You know, I would, if I were sitting on the charts all day today, I may have looked for some scalps in here. But for the most part, I'm just kind of being patient, waiting for the bigger level up or the bigger level down, which we go over in full in the beginning of the stream. If you guys go check it out if you're just tuning in. Did you have something set that triggered at 96.8? I don't know if you mean like an alert or something. I have the POC and the daily level, I believe. Is it a daily? I think it's a daily. Sitting at about 96.6. That is my next key levels to the upside, guys. Next key levels to the upside. Monthly naked point of control. I'll take this date. Let me take this daily off. Take that tab daily. So to the upside, the next key level of resistance right here. Monthly naked, weekly, and the POC, and a daily, sitting between 96K, and 96.6. Get above that, 98.3 is probably the bigger level, next biggest level to look at. And don't forget the golden pocket sitting somewhere in here as well. Yeah. Golden pocket at about 97.5. So there we go. Shout out to Brendan. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Crypto Maxi. Say, anybody else play Frankie Candles in the shower? I'm a shower YouTuber. I'll listen to YouTube in the shower. I don't listen to myself. I'm not a complete total narcissist. But yeah, I like to watch YouTube videos in the shower for sure. If I were a CandleMafia member, I would 100%. There is nothing weird about listening to YouTube in the shower. Approaching the daily quickly. Approaching that daily. Come on, baby. Tap the daily. Tap the daily. Come on. See if we hit it. Yo, Tony D said I straight up watch TV in the shower. That is crazy. Let's see. I love being cooked this time of year. Shout out to Dave Digital. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. The Battle of the Bears and the Bulls, 100%. Let's go. Frankie got my back. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. I got your back, Crypto Maxi. Don't you worry, bro. Don't you worry. I identify as a shower watcher as well. Yeah, shout out to Alex. I mean, they're the coolest types of people, I think. But yeah, let's continue on here. Take a look at Ethereum. What's next on the list here? We have, what was it, like Chainlink. Let's take a look at Chainlink. Going to zero. You got a nice little range here, honestly. Let me come on over to our actual public chart here. Where's it at? Bada boom. I mean, brutal 67% dump, but this is why volume profiles can kind of help you not panic when it's not the time to panic, right? When everybody thought, right? But, oh my God, it's going to zero, it's never going back. What are you doing? You are finally peeking out of your volume profile. This is not where you want to sell your bags or short, right? Your shorts are to be had up here, up here, up here, up here, while price is pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, right? You don't want to short as price is going down. You want to short as it's pushing up, predicting it to go down. So you can get in nice and high and then enjoy the ride. And when you peak below here, are you panicking? Oh my God, it's going to zero? Absolutely not. You were thinking of this as an opportunity to long it into the range. You get back in, flip the value area low to support. Very high. Wouldn't expect it to happen that fast, but key level of support right now, POC, right? Sitting at 1437, right? And we're kind of playing around with that now. This is the higher time frames, right? So, you know, you could maybe play around with that, right? It's okay to lose the POC, you know, momentarily, right? It's not always like I could show you, like here, you could see if you were anticipating a move into the range to the POC to the value area low, right? You come down to the POC, you go below it, back above it, below it, back above it, below it, back above it. But eventually, even here, you front run the value area low, right? And then back above it. And then finally you come down to hit that value area low, right? So it could be a journey, right? So just understand that. You can come down, up. But for the most part, the higher probability would be for that range to fill, especially if you have the money flow in the green on the daily, right? So this would make me look, anticipate potential higher lows and higher highs to come. Right, so key support here, full golden pocket 786 retracement, confluent with the value area low, sitting between 1216 and 1118. And then, honorable mention, POC, obviously a key level of support as well. But yeah, that's really your big level. You lose that 786, you're probably making new lows, in my opinion, right? Which could potentially, I don't want to say $7.83, but that would be like the next significant level. But hopefully you can get caught up somewhere in here. All right, maybe you could, I don't know. We bounced right off that value area low last time we got the dump. So I don't know. If you continue down, you lose that 786. I don't know how likely it is you're going to hold that range again. You could, but this would really be the key level to hold. I don't know if you're going to come all the way down there. Like I said, you could hold the POC, could hold local fibs, right? You could pull fibs from any of these higher lows. But for the most part, you just want to stay. I mean, that would be a nice little head and shoulders there. Could be something like that. That would be nice. Actually set an alert here on Chainlink. That's not what I wanted. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I pull up some local levels as well, but overall, larger volume profile. This is why, if you pay attention to these, you would not be that scared when you come down here. Now, obviously, it is scary, but you would be more looking at this as like, hey, this is undervalued. Let me look for a move back into at least the POC, right? It doesn't mean that you have to fill the whole profile, right? Especially if you have a golden pocket POC confluence. Yeah, like this is, you could totally get back into this volume profile, reject the golden pocket POC 786 for a new low. That's definitely possible. But money flow in the green on the daily makes me feel a little bit decent about that. Larger profile, value area low, 1176, POC 1440, value area high 2068. Local range, pretty clean here. I mean, the volume distribution is kind of funky. That's real weird. Big deviations below that range. Very interesting. Usually it's a little more like evenly distributed, right? It's like little peak here, little peak there, little peak here. Usually it's something like that. But for some reason, it just yoinks below that range. Yoink. Tap the POC, tap the POC, tap the POC. So this will be a local range I would watch on Chainlink. Got your value area low sitting 1474, POC sitting 1498, value area high sitting 1521. However, let's see. You don't really have the divergences, if I'm being honest, right? You don't have the higher highs on price action. You just have the lower highs on your momentum waves. But, man, I would have, you got, 10-hour blood diamond, 12-hour red dot, 16-hour red dot. See how 1 hour money flow's been in the red, 45-minute money flow in the red. Yeah. So that's what I look at. Local range. Sitting on these gold numbers, and then POC key support to the downside, lose that. Like I said, higher time frame range will be relevant. So if it does turn into a bigger correction for everything, maybe Bitcoin does go back down to the 83K zone. That could be something like that on Chainlink. But until you lose that 786, once you lose that 786, which, by the way, sits at 1123, that is the doorway to lower prices, in my opinion. Could send you down towards potentially like $8, $8, 783 between 815. I mean, I would say something like this. Between like 811 and 783 of your value area high. And this previous low right there. Could be liquidity sitting down there. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on Chainlink. Let's check the weekly real quick. 2-week green dot is not printing. Would like to see that print. But yeah, I mean, I would say like medium, high time. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? The divergences, the high time frame, high hourly time frame red dots, likely for the correction down. And that's pretty much what we're seeing there. Let me see. How did that not go off? Did we really not tap that daily? We barely touched it. Look at that front run. Oh, it's not going to give me the alert if I move the level. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. Bitcoin 4-hour blood diamond, baby. Did we see that before? I don't know if we saw that. There it is. All of its glory. 15-minute money flow crossed over, continued into the red. Getting that continued drop. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. So yeah, other than that, guys, my plan really remains the same. Other than looking for that pullback on the divergences, just waiting for the bigger drop down, CME gap, daily naked point of control, value area low, bigger move up for the monthly naked point of control, weekly. These are the next areas where I will be looking for my next trades. Until then, I'll be sitting on my hands. Let's see. Can we do BTCTA now? Shout out to Dave Digital. No, we're not looking at Bitcoin ever again. Ever again. We're done with that dang Bitcoin TA. Let's see. I like push-ups. Doge fake out. I like push-ups. Shout out to Dave Digital. I like push-ups too. So much that I like to preserve them. I don't like to, I don't want to play them out. I don't want to get sick of them, so I really preserve them. That's how much I love them. Shout out to Dave Digital. Oh, God. I really got to start going back to the gym or I'm going to die young. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Shout out to JP. Said, note to self, only buy Bitcoin in the next bear market. Shout out to JP. Not a bad, I'll be honest, not really a bad, not a bad strategy, to be honest. Yeah, I like totals. Shout out to World. I've had a few days break even trade, a few chop break even trades, and it's only Tuesday. Shout out to Dave Digital. I mean, Darren does things. It's one of those weeks. It's one of those weeks. Shout out to Dave Digital. Said Frankie likes the orange push-ups. What are the orange push-ups? Dave, what is an orange push-up? Please let me know in the chat. Yo, Jesus. You guys are nuts. Shout out to Servando Estrada. But yeah, guys, for the most part, my plan remains exactly the same. And that is pretty much, I think, all we got for today's live stream. Are we even hopping out early? I was going to say it at the beginning of the stream, but not really. What are we at? Oh, yeah, we're pretty much at the end here. But I do have to be somewhere, so I got to hop out of here, guys. But with all that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. And, yeah, we'll see. You guys now have literally my full trading plan on where I'm looking for my next trades. And not only that, but why and the context behind what I'm going to be expecting if certain levels are lost. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you enjoy the free content, smash that like button. It helps us out endlessly here on the YouTube channel, pushes us into the algorithm, and it is always going to be free 99. So shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where hopefully Bitcoin decides to move again on the live stream because it really went sideways all day. Let's see. Shout out to Mike Bennett. Shout out to Ahmad. Said, thanks for the stream. Big ball. Shout out to Ahmad. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Do. Shout out to Tony D in the chat. Mike Bennett. Felix. Captain Kirk. Dave Digital. J. Cole. Cryptic Crabman, Servando Estrada, Erica, last but not least, Dave Digital, Tyler Durden, Darren Does Things, and World. Shout out to you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
out, Mrs. Stop hitting the stream deck. All right, so just watch this. If it comes back up to this fib and you see the bear CVD, just crank this to 88x and full port short and then close the short at 91.6. Got it? Okay. Oh, and you're live. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got Mrs. Candles watching the charts here while I go eat some food. Maybe I should just keep her on the live stream. You want to run the live, Mrs. Candles? Shout out to you. All right. Well, hopefully she doesn't make me go poor. Hopefully she understands the lesson I just gave her. And come on, Mrs. Candles. I can believe in you. See you guys later. Hasta basta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand, yeah. I got the team by my side, right hand, yeah. Take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that, yeah. And it's the dream, and we coming for the bag, yeah. And we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll.